A couple days ago, the court ruled in the case of Jorge Masvidal. Recall that a few weeks ago, Masvidal attacked his former friend and now sworn enemy Colby Covington in a restaurant. As a result, Jorge knocked out Colby's tooth and broke his watch. Although before that, the attacker had 25 minutes in the octagon to deal with him. But Colby's trash talk was once again ahead of the rest. Covington crushed Masvidal in a fair fight, but as they say, you can throw words out of a song. And Jorge didn't forget what Colby said about his children.
Have you woken up yet? I thought you were still sleeping. You might leave before then. Just make sure you show up, bitch.
You lived in
my house. Just make sure you show up, bitch. I lived in Maritza's house. I didn't live in your house, bitch. Maritza paid the bills.
My house.
Your children.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Forget about your children, you deadbeat mother dad. You a deadbeat. Maritza paid for our shit. You still got your Obama phone?
I had an Obama phone.
Yeah, you fucking did, you lying ass piece of shit. You're a lying ass piece of shit. Yeah, that's right.
Therefore, it is not surprising that Covington was overtaken by a vendetta, for such words give rise to responsibility. It is striking here that Colby did not want to resolve the issue like a man and simply called the police on his former. And now he's trying to isolate himself from him and put him behind bars. Thus, Colby ensured that Masvidal could not come closer than 500 feet to his house, and he can't get closer than 25 feet to the victim himself. A cynical multi-move from Colby to exterminate his enemy, only he did not take into account one factor, the hatred from his colleagues in the UFC. We don't know what is worse here, the Masvidal case or the invented head injury of Covington, which does not have an official medical certificate. This incident could make Covington the most unshakable fighter in the UFC. Earlier, Khabib Nurmagomedov urged to boycott Colby. If you are stronger than someone in the octagon, this does not mean that you can insult his children. No one has the right to insult someone's family. Once you go down this path, be prepared to back up your words. You've been attacked by a pro fighter the same size as you, and you're going to the police to press charges against him? I think all welterweights should turn down Colby. Just don't take him. Let him sit down without a fight. This will likely have a significant impact on him and on anyone who insults families and provokes fighters. To deal with him, you have to look for him in a restaurant. Khabib wrote on his social media. Thus, the entire legacy that the Donald Trump fanatic has built around himself can be destroyed. Of course, the former US president has a history of doing bad things in his life, but he did not stoop to such malice. Colby went too far with his stick. If he wanted to turn the whole world against himself in this way, then he did it perfectly well. However, it seems that Covington simply does not know the rules of decency, which he willingly uses to build an image. Viewers looking at Colby might think that only toxic characters like McGregor and Covington compete in MMA. They do not promote the sport, but shame it and push people away from them. Therefore, it is not Masvidal but Colby who deserves to be penalized, at least from their employer. Dana White did not know what to do with Covington after defeating Masvidal, as the third fight with Usman would be a waste of time. Therefore, he came up with a fight with Chimaev. Perhaps in this way, the head of the UFC wants to reign in chaos. Let's see how Covington will behave against a native of the Chechen Republic at a press conference. This may seem like an effective measure, but looking in the past, McGregor did not calm down after the fight with Khabib. However, White has much more leverage, and he is quite capable of removing the talker, at least for a temporary period. Moreover, Colby does not generate nearly as much money as Conor. In the meantime, Covington still gets exceptions, and it's not fair, therefore he will continue. His next opponent will be a bearded Chechen. Let's see if Covington will risk insulting the Chimaev family. And the famous Swedish UFC fighter of Chechen origin Khamzat Chimaev spoke about a possible fight with American Colby Covington. I was told 100% it will take place. I hope I will fight in Abu Dhabi in October. Abu Dhabi is like home for me already. I started there, and I want to finish there, pick up my belts. Could something happen when meeting Covington before the fight because of his trash talk? I don't think anything will happen. If I do something to him before the fight, he will call the police. Why should I sit in the monkey house? I'll wait in a cell. Let him speak later. Such people should not be taken seriously, Chimaev said in an interview with the Hustle MMA YouTube channel. Andreas Michael, the coach of the Swedish prospect Khamzat Chimaev, again stated that he wants his fighter to face the American Colby Covington in the next fight. I want Khamzat to fight Colby. Covington is a good fighter, and we want to fight the best. If we're not good enough to win at this level, then we shouldn't be there. Of course, now we will meet with opponents of a higher level, and it will only be harder for us. If we can't handle the guy Usman was beating, then we're in trouble. But I have no doubt that Khamzat will cope and will definitely win, Michael said on the MMA Hour show. Former UFC bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz, who is also staff analyst and commentator for the organization, warned Khamzat Chimaev against a fatal mistake that could deprive the Chechen fighter of a great future. "I think Khamzat Chimaev is in for a big ascent. Given his fame, media attention, accolades, and the fact that everyone is talking about him, a lot will depend on who chooses as his coach. If I were asked to name one thing that will determine the future of Khamzat, I would say that this is the choice of who he will follow, whom he will trust and listen to. Now a lot of leeches from all over the world will appear around him, and each of them will say that it is he who should become his coach and supervise his preparation, but I would advise him to stick to the people with whom started. They should remain his leaders," Cruz said in an interview with Helen Ye. Former UFC two-weight champion George St. Pierre shared his thoughts on the recent performance of Khamzat Chimaev where he defeated Gilbert Burns. "It was a great fight from him. He needed it, because he used to go through everyone like a knife through butter. Sometimes you need to overcome difficulties, which you become better and improve from. So from that point of view, it was a good fight for him. On the other hand, it's not very good when you get so many blows to the head. I like to watch him fight, but I don't think it was a smart fight. I suppose he could make it much easier for himself. He just got used to moving everyone, but at the elite level you can't fight like that. You need to prepare, come up with a plan for the fight and be the perfect retribution for your opponent. You can't go out and trade punches all the time with opponents like Burns," George St. Pierre told MMA News. Having beaten Gilbert Burns, Khamzat Chimaev has risen to the third line of the UFC welterweight rankings, and his next opponent could be Colby Covington, who occupies the first position in the division. What do you think the future of these two fighters hold? Comment below. Do not forget to subscribe to our second channel, which is also about the world of MMA. Thanks for watching.